everybody. Well, this week has been really something else, and what I'm going to tell you is just my 2 cents. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong or whatever, it's just my opinion on things. First of all, I want to tell you something that happened a few days ago that I want to share with everybody. I talked to an active JW. I ran across this person online, and I wasn't really sure exactly what they might say to me, but they had wanted to have a discussion with me on Hangouts. So I sent my email address. I really didn't know exactly what this man would say. I thought, well, maybe he's an elder and I'm going to hear this speech about coming back and all this other stuff, or quit doing what I'm doing or whatever, but it wasn't. I wanted to make sure in our conversation that I made this JW aware of the lawsuits and the two-witness rule, and a myriad of subjects that we talk about all the time. And when I started talking about that, he acknowledged that he knew all about it. And what he told me next kind of shocked me, was that this active JW and his spouse do not donate money to Watchtower because they know where the money is going. They also watch the Australian Royal Commission, and we talked some about that. And this person is around my age and said that he refuses to be an elder because elders are told what to do by Watchtower, and he didn't want to be told what to do. So I talked to him a little bit more and realized during the conversation that this active JW is totally awake. So we had a conversation about that, why still be in there and why be active and all of that. And what I was told was, where they live, there is a lot of active JWs that are just kind of playing the part, I guess, but not actually following the organization's instructions. In other words, they don't want to be told by Watchtower what to do. They want to believe and be told what to do, not by the corporation, organization / Watchtower, what to do. They want to read the Bible, go by what the Bible says, follow Jesus, and they don't want to live by man-made doctrine and teachings. And it just amazed me. I'm like, why are they still all there? Well, I was told that inside they have more of an opportunity to talk to other ones that are a little more hardcore Watchtower followers, and try to get more of them to be Jesus followers than Watchtower followers. So when they're even going out into field service, and they're not trying to recruit people for Watchtower, they want to share Bible teachings and Jesus commands with people. Now, I had a conversation with another ex-JW about the conversation I had with this JW, and he said that if they are still going door to door and saying that they're Jehovah's Witnesses and talking to people about the Bible, people are still getting an understanding that these are Jehovah's Witnesses, whatever. And I do understand where he's coming from on that, but there's a lot of awake JWs that still occasionally tell people they're JWs. I mean, just because they're laying low and trying to wake their families up and get their families out too. And I guess that's what a lot of them are doing. Um, I was amazed when I talked to this JW on the Hangouts that I was just amazed that he said that there was a lot of them, and that they're kind of, hanging out with people that are awake, and then, trying to wake up the ones that aren't, and they're working from the inside out while we're working from the outside in. And I thought that was amazing news. I wanted to tell everybody, all you guys, about it, because, I mean, think about it. We saw in the last year a big rise in the sale of Kingdom Halls closing, halls folding up. I mean, grand exits from, 40 people at a time leaving congregations, and I mean, things were just happening amazing, right? Well, it didn't stop with that. There's more in there working from the inside and helping us wake more of them up. I kind of want some of your all thoughts on that, because I know there's a few people that we know on YouTube that disguise who they are because they still have family in, and they're still kind of on the fence as the organization sees them. They're not disfellowshipped or disassociated. They're still hanging around, but they haven't officially left or walked away or faded or anything like that. And they even make videos in disguise to help JWs. There's just so many different ways that people are helping to wake up. But really, I was thinking, man, if there's so many people on the inside awake that are working on their families and friends to wake them up before they go anywhere, there has to be a bunch of them. I mean, if I heard about just a small pocket of them, there must be more pockets of them. That can't be the only isolated area of people that are doing that. And I talked to this JW, for 4 hours, and I was just amazed, and I felt really good about the things I heard. And when I brought up subjects, about, like we talked about the Australian Royal Commission and all that, this JW knew about all of it and explained that because of the awareness of that, they're not doing this, they're not donating money, they're not doing that. I mean, they just, I'm like, oh man, like I said, I had to let you guys know that. It was such an exciting conversation, and I really don't think this person was pulling my leg, because this person legitimately knew about these things, and we were talking about them, and they were fully aware of the things that happened, and who said what, and what's going on, and I was like, wow. So don't lose heart, people. Don't lose heart. Don't think that we're not making any ways. I know in last month, this month's broadcast, actually, they were talking about Satan is going after the organization legally, and that they're starting to fight back legally. People are getting legal notices and stay away from our Kingdom Halls, or we'll arrest you and all this other stuff. But I really don't think that that's going to be. It's going to get ugly. I think it's going to get ugly. I think a lot of people are going to wind up getting served legal notices and all this other stuff. And I know that Witness No More really needs some help with things that are going on where he lives. And if anybody can help him out, go up to his channel and look on his videos and find out where to help him with some funds. I mean, I can't really right now, but as soon as I can, I'm going to help him out some too. I don't have a lot of money myself. Living on disability, but there's some things that I just feel like it's the right thing to do, is to send them what I can, and Witness No More is one of them. He's a really good-hearted guy, and he works really hard in the activism to wake up JWs, and I think after this rough patch that he's going through, he's really going to start seeing some rewards from that. It happens, you know, people, they get on YouTube and stuff and they just do what they feel like they should do, and then later rewards start coming. People start notifying you and saying, you know, you really helped me, and I'm glad that you said what you did, and I left because of you. And you know, I've heard a lot of those kinds of things about people on YouTube. You know, that they helped other people. You know, they helped people to wake up, and even people that do wake up and they come out and make a video about, you know, even if they just make one video, it's good, but they make a video about coming out and they'll mention different channels that they were watching that helped wake them up. And you know, those are the kinds of rewards that make a person feel real good. You know, we're actually doing something. But if you just remember as you go about making videos, or if you don't, or what kind of activism you're doing, or even if you just talk to people and don't make videos, or whatever the heck you do, realize that there are many, many awake that you're not even aware of, because what we're doing is working. I can't fathom in my head if there, you know, if there's this little pocket of awake JWs that I heard about, and then there has to be more of them around, and I'm like, I just can't fathom how many of them would actually just up and walk out in this next year, year and a half. Boy, we're gonna wait and see. You know, it's gonna be amazing. I think we're just gonna be jumping up and down in the streets. But another thing you got to realize is that when people walk away from Watchtower, it's not until you walk away and get out in the real world that you realize how damaged you might be. And these people need a lot of love and support and encouragement. And that's the people that have been through it already are the ones that are going to help. You know, you and me and everybody out here. You know, we got to be there for them and encourage them. Don't tear them down. Don't pick on them. Don't be mean, cruel, anything. Show them some love, because they don't know. They have no idea what real unconditional love is, and we could wind up making lifelong friends. You know, so be kind to them, help them, do what you can. I think this next year, I was like, oh my God, this next year, you know, wait until next June. You know, and we look back and see what in the world has happened, because I know we've seen so many things happen in the last year, you know. So even though Watchtower's fighting back and getting nasty, because they know people are leaving and getting ready to go and all that. So, you know, I think we've got a lot of pressure on them. So they're going to get mean, nasty, and ugly to people. But if we stick together and help each other out, I think we can get through it all, you know. So I had to tell you that anyway. And then I'm sure a few of you have seen the other videos and live streams and all that stuff that people have been putting up about that Australian murder-suicide, a family of 7, and JWs at that. My opinion, after reading all the articles that I could on the internet, and different people, different articles from different places, and listening to the police talk and the estranged husband slash dad of the kids talk, personally, my opinion is the dad had something to do with it. I think it's one of those things where the police say we're not looking for further suspects, and they're going to make the dad believe they're going to blame it on the grandfather. Meanwhile, they're collecting all the evidence they can to nab the dad for doing it. Well, we'll watch it closely. I'm sure we'll hear about it again. That kind of stuff is always follow-ups in the news now and then. Sometimes it takes a while for it to get through. It could be 8 months before we hear that they nab the dad or something, you know. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. Also, the woman that killed her family and the family dog and then blew herself away. Watchtower needs to really take notice, because shunning people isn't a good thing, because you're so accustomed to being inside an organization and isolated from the world that when a person gets shunned and shoved out into a world that they don't really know anything about, it's very traumatic and hard, and it takes a lot of getting used to, and it's really a tough swim. And this woman had emotional problems, you know, depression and all that on top of that. And when people are facing those things and have to go through those things, and they just snap. And if Watchtower wouldn't shun those people and gave them the help that they needed, then I really don't think those things would happen. You know, I really don't. Some of those people didn't do anything so bad that it's going to actually poison a congregation. You know? I mean, that's not spiritually detrimental to a congregation. It might be morally wrong what they did, but scripturally or religiously, I don't think those people really did anything that terribly wrong. But punishing them like that really drives them to do things that are really wrong. You know? If the organization, now in the Australian Royal Commission, case 29, they interviewed Vince Toole, who was the lawyer slash solicitor is what they call him there, but he was a lawyer for Watchtower. He actually admitted that Watchtower paid for and sent him through law school to make him a lawyer. And if Watchtower can pay for and send their own people to college and law school, why can't the normal rank and file go to college and law school or become doctors or counselors or anything like that? Because if they did allow their rank and file to go to college and become those things, they would have people in those fields for them to support them. You know, they wouldn't be looking around or saying, no, you can't have counseling because it wouldn't be scriptural. They'd actually have counselors you could go to or talk to that were actually JWs. You know, so it really doesn't make any sense that they, you know, that I think it was even Tony Morris. He's usually one that talks about education. And it's like telling somebody that if you're already in college, you should prayerfully consider dropping out of college so you can spend your time in the ministry, instead of encouraging them to finish their education and help their fellow JWs. I mean, I don't see the logic in that. I really don't, because for every one of them that actually want to go through school, there's going to be 10 of them that don't. You know, so it's not like they're going to lose people that are going to be out as recruiters. They ain't going to lose people. But enough of that, because actually I think everybody that's in there should leave. If everybody that was awake right now would just walk away and leave, there'd hardly be anybody inside anymore to shun them for anything. You know, take your friends and family and get the heck out. You know, if they all left at once, that place would crumble. It would crumble. They'd have to start selling off everything. And if everybody that left, they start realizing in all the ways they're damaged, if they all decided to sue Watchtower when they left, they wouldn't have enough money to support themselves or sell enough stuff to pay all the millions of dollars that people were suing them for. They couldn't do it. I mean, if you want to see Watchtower fall, everybody that's awake, leave. Take your families. Say, you know, you're going to listen to me. You know, follow me, listen to me, and sit back and watch what happens. If nothing happens, you can go do what you want, right? But just sit back for, 6, 12 months and see what happens. Get out of there. You know, they're going to run out of people. They'll have to close halls. They'll have to, I mean, it would be terrible if everybody that was awake would just walk away. But I understand what they're doing. I appreciate what they're doing. They're helping to wake more of them up. It's a good thing, so see how it goes. But I just wanted to share my viewpoint on a little thing and tell you about the JW I got to talk to. I mean, that was eye-opening. Wow. Couldn't believe it. There's a whole bunch of them in there. You know? They are listening. They have seen the Royal Commission. They do know about the suits. They're not giving their money to Watchtower. You know, it's a good thing, man. I was just so excited about that, I had to share it. But anyway, talk to y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison, theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like. Maybe even comment if you watch it on Facebook. Like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.